Hollywood's golden age was also secretly its dark age. From forced abortion, sexual scandals, to even murder cover-ups, one man was almost always involved, Mr. Eddie Mannix. Heyo, and welcome to the Darkives, where we tell serious history not so seriously. I'm Jamie talking to Leo.
And I'm Leo listening to Jamie.
And as previously stated, this week we are talking about Eddie Mannix, a notorious Hollywood fixer.
Fixer. Oh, fixers are the people who clean up dirty things.
Mm-hmm. The scandals.
Yeah, somebody ends up dead at a party somewhere and they just kind of disappear.
A lot. Yeah, and a lot more too, unfortunately.
Yeah, when I think of a fixer, I think of Mr. Wolf, I believe was his name in Pulp Fiction.
I still haven't seen.
Or like the cleaning service in John Wick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Call them up and they just run through.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe of what Eddie did to an extent. Joseph Edgar Allen John Mannix, or as he chose to go by,
Eddie.
Yeah. Edgar Joseph Mannix was born to John and Lizzie Mannix on February 25th, 1891 in Fort Lee, New Jersey. He dropped out of school before he even entered high school. So before he was even 14, he was already done with school. He got a job as a ticket taker at the Palisades amusement park that was owned by the Skank brothers. The Skank brothers were part of the Lowe Corporation, which is going to be a big deal in this story. The Skanks were part of this corporation because of their friendship with the owner, Marcus Lowe. They got involved together after the Skanks bought some theaters and put it under the Lowe Corporation. I'm sorry, it's funny saying the Skanks bought theaters. That's not even how it's spelled, but that's how I had to put it in my notes.
You wrote skanks?
Yeah. That's how it's said, but it's not how it's spelled.
How's it spelled?
Kind of like shank, but I looked up the pronunciation of it and it was skank. So, bless them. But, okay, so they bought some theaters and it was with the Lowe Corporation. This amusement park was just another one of their side ventures.
And these are all under the Lowe Corporation?
Yes. In 1919, Joseph Skank, one of the brothers, was promoted to vice president and GM of the Lowe Corporation. Back to Eddie, though. The brothers took a liking to him due to his cool demeanor and his capability, so he was soon promoted to bookkeeper.
Okay.
Now, this wasn't necessarily the bookkeeper job like how we know it today. This particular park was involved in some kind of shady business. So Eddie was involved in some money moving, maybe some book tampering, and he also became a bouncer of sorts, known for taking care of any problem with a heavy hand.
Bit of a thug, this Eddie.
Yes. So he is establishing himself with these brothers as a get-it-done kind of man. Anything they need, legal or not, Eddie can handle it.
Is Eddie Italian?
He's Irish. His dad came from Ireland.
Early 1900s. I'm picturing De Niro in The Irishman.
Okay, that's another movie I've not seen.
You really gotta watch more movies.
I know. I live my life how I live my life.
She's out here nose buried in books.
I watch plenty of movies. They're just all horror. I don't really branch out of my genre too frequently.
Horror and rom-com.
Yeah, and some period pieces. Hey man, I like what I like. That's all I can say about it. Now, Joseph Skank, the brother who was promoted within the Lowe Corporation, he helped with the merging of Lowe Corporation and MGM Studios. MGM Studios was one of the big powerhouses in early Hollywood, which we are going to get into.
Yeah, everybody knows MGM.
Mm-hmm.
The lion roaring.
Mm-hmm.
MGM Studios.
Yes. So with Eddie's reputation and this merging of MGM and Lowe, Eddie was sent to Hollywood. Now we're going to do a quick little MGM background. MGM originally began in 1924 as Metro-Goldwyn Productions. This was a merger between Louis B. Mayer Productions and Metro Pictures. Now, at this time, Hollywood was run a bit differently. Actors and actresses were signed to studios with a contract. They were only allowed to do movies with the studio that they had signed to. So these contracts were extremely
Binding.
and very strict.
Yeah, that does sound very strict. I mean, you sign a contract with one company and you can only work with that company.
You can only work with them, and you were assigned to movies. Like nowadays, people go and audition for a movie and it's just the best fit, blah, blah, blah. Back then, you were told which movie you were going to do, and you had to do it as per your contract. These contracts lasted about 10 to 15 years, and they were so deeply involved with people's personal lives.
How so?
Because back then morality was a lot more different than it is today. If there was a scandal with the actor or actress, theaters would actually refuse to show their movie, thus causing money loss for the production company. So this is why actors and actresses were signed to morality contracts. And back then, a scandal could be as small as just a divorce. Like there was so much more strict moral codes than there are today.
Yeah, we know a little bit about the 20s and like how society ran back then from the Wineville story that we did.
Mm-hmm.
That happened a little bit later than this, it sounds like.
Same general era, though, yeah.
Yeah, late 20s is when Wineville happened. This is early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, in that story, if you guys haven't heard it yet, a woman is pretty easily thrown into a psych ward for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, for saying that a child that wasn't hers wasn't hers.
Yeah, so I could just imagine what Hollywood could cook up in certain situations if they didn't like an actress or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Women in the 20s, I mean, it didn't take much for a man to say you did something and you suffer the consequences behind that.
Yeah, I mean, all throughout history, like, it's very much just a woman does something that the man doesn't like, and they're, back to our witches episode, they're burned at the stake. Yeah. They're beheaded.
No, and I don't know this story yet.
Uh-huh.
But does that play a factor in this story?
A bit, yes.
Yeah.
It went both ways. They would do stuff to keep actresses, but they also did stuff to quiet women. But these morality contracts came to be after early Hollywood star Fatty Arbuckle was accused of rape and murder in 1921.
Okay, pretty serious accusation there.
Yes. So that is how, because of what a scandal that caused, this is why studios started taking a more strict approach with their stars that they had signed.
Do you know what happened with that accusation? Who is Fatty Arbuckle and what came of that?
So, a Fatty Arbuckle was,
A Fatty Arbuckle? A Fatty Arbuckle or the Fatty Arbuckle?
That was his nickname, Fatty. He was...
Yeah, you said a Fatty Arbuckle.
Oh, sorry. I think I said, Fatty Arbuckle was a very famous silent film actor, and his real name is Roscoe Arbuckle, but he's known by Fatty, unfortunately. He was a heavier set man.
Oh, I was thinking it's because he showed his little fatty to everybody.
No. He was a bigger man. So he was accused of rape and murder, as I said. It was originally manslaughter, but I mean, manslaughter, murder, same thing. This woman died. So his first two trials ended with a hung jury, and the third did acquit him. Money does a lot, and especially back then, as we're going to see, it did a lot. So who knows?
Patty could be the OG OJ.
Could be. I didn't look too far into this crime, but he was acquitted. But the scandal was so big and so prominent at that point that it truly didn't matter. It is a bit like OJ, where, yeah, you were found not guilty.
But we all know, dude.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Your reputation is so far fucked that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. So back to these contracts. What's going on with these?
These contracts were originally used by Universal, and they would stop an actor's career if anything in their personal life could cause a scandal or embarrassment to the studio. This gave studios, in my opinion, far too much control over these people for things like their weight, their marriages, pregnancies, affairs, and even their clothing. All of it was controlled by these studios.
Yeah, it's just far too much personal control.
Mm-hmm. Now, with this background, it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to hear that if any scandals came up, they would need a fixer of sorts to clean it up and sweep it under the rug. Enter, stage left, Eddie Mannix. Eddie was originally sent to Hollywood to keep an eye on Louis B. Mayer because a skink brother and him, for some reason lost to time, had a bit of a feud going on.
Skanks are always fighting with people.
I hate you. Well, this skink did. He did not like Louis B. Mayer. So, Eddie was sent to the West Coast as kind of a spy of sorts because the Skank brothers are in New Jersey on the East Coast and Louis B. Mayer is out in Hollywood on the West Coast.
So they wanted Eddie to go out there and keep an eye on this guy that they're not getting along with.
Yes, you know, they needed somebody that they could trust.
These dirty skanks.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
Jamie, you can't put names like skank in an episode and not expect me to crack a couple.
I know. Okay.
Apologies to any skanks out there.
Thank you for apologizing to me.
I meant names.
Yes, of course. Yes, you did. Now, in a turn of events, though, Eddie and Louis actually became pretty good friends. Like, they got real close. Mannix was actually promoted to the GM of MGM by the 1930s and was a very close and personal friend to Louis B. Mayer. Every morning, the two would meet and discuss business. Air quotes. Mannix had a title on the books, but his real job was, as we have said before, fixing any scandal or problem with an actor or actress. For this, he teamed up with Howard Strickling, who was head of studio public relations. Before this job, Strickling was a journalist, so with his knowledge of how the press works and Mannix's kind of tough guy way of handling things, these two became a gruesome twosome of sorts for MGM. Strickling would handle the publication of stories, and Mannix would handle the physical problems.
Yeah, you got an actress two-timing on a man, gets seen out on a date with another man, but she's known to be with a very prominent member of the corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Enter Eddie. Now listen here, see? You're gonna stop seeing this fella, and you're gonna hang out with him over here. You're not gonna go with him no more. You get it, Broad? You get it?
Broad!
Enter in a couple smacks. Problem solved. And then Strickland comes through, and he writes a nice little piece about how, oh yeah, she wasn't really seeing that other guy. Everything's fine in paradise with her and the corporation guy. It's all fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. Those other two, that was literally a picture was taken at a work conference and blown out of proportion.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Publicity for an upcoming film that we are very quickly writing and producing now to cover this up.
All right. I see the tag team in effect.
Yes. Now, I'm not usually one for disclaimers or, content warnings, but I will say these next few stories are going to involve sexual assault, potential murder. A lot of very heavy things are going to be covered in this. I just want to disclaimer that up front here. Now, Eddie already had this reputation with working with the Skank brothers that he was kind of a tough guy, but his personal life backed this up. This was not just a business persona. He had been married to a woman named Bernice Fitzmaurice in 1916, but she filed for divorce in 1936, citing physical abuse and infidelity.
Slapping the shit out of a girl does not make one a tough guy.
Absolutely not.
Just saying, you said he had a reputation and it carried into his personal life.
Well,
he's slapping his wife around. I think that's pretty sissy stuff, Eddie.
He allegedly broke her back. It wasn't just the, to the moon. It was...
Alice. You gotta say Alice after.
It wasn't just to the moon, Alice. It was to the hospital, Bernice. He was fucking mean.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
A very bad guy, yes. No, this was supposed to go to court, but Bernice never actually made it to the court appearances.
Of course she didn't.
Because she tragically died in a mysterious car crash.
Now she just drove off a cliff somewhere or something, huh? Eddie gave her the old Princess Diana, cut the brakes.
I don't know the exact circumstances of the death, but I do know that it was a automobile accident that has long been subjected to theories and rumors that it wasn't too much of an accident. Can't have this going to court. Can't have my dirty on...
Your dirty underwear?
I was gonna say dirty laundry, but yeah, I can't have my dirty underwear out there. Yeah, but was it a bit of, I don't want it being on the public record how much of a shitbag I am, so, dead men tell no tales?
It's definitely what it was.
Yeah, I think so too.
Very mafia behavior.
Extremely, yes. There's also a question of potential murder in his next love affair. This one with a new wife, Toni Mannix. Now, this is going to be taking place in the 1950s. Now, Toni was married to Eddie, but also involved with a love affair with TV Superman George Reeves.
Reeves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, this was the original Superman.
Yeah. He's the OG.
Yes, because there's Christopher Reeves, who was also Superman, correct?
Yeah, he ended up in a wheelchair, I think.
Yes. This is George Reeves. So I got a bit confused, so I'm going to just specify that. Different Reeves.
Yeah, we're talking about the original Superman in cinema.
Yes. Now, George and Toni were in an affair, and Eddie was actually aware and, air quotes, supportive of this affair. Eddie and Toni, from what I gathered, were married, but not necessarily super involved with each other.
Was Toni an actress? Or was she just part of the lifestyle because Eddie knew all these people, so she met, at mixers? They all went to go eat at the same places or some shit.
No, Toni was, she was an actress and a dancer. So she was involved. She was in the circle.
So we got an actress bombshell, I'm guessing.
She was good. She was good looking. I wouldn't call her a bombshell, but yeah, she was good.
1920s bombshell? Really? She was fooling around with Superman.
Yeah. I'm not calling her a bombshell. She was a...
Speak ill of the dead.
I'll speak ill of all these people. And I don't feel bad, and I don't think you will either after I tell you this sordid little tale.
Even Reeves?
No, Reeves did nothing wrong. No, I'll talk shit about Toni and Eddie, though.
Side tangent here. Did you come across this in your research? A story of a little kid going to shoot George Reeves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that in your story?
No, but we can talk about that.
That you've heard this too?
Yeah, he was going to
A little kid took
Reeves.
his dad's gun and was going to shoot him at like some kind of event or something like that because he wanted to see if bullets actually bounced off of him.
Mm-hmm.
And to get the kid to not shoot him, he said something along the lines of, Yeah, it would bounce off of me, but it would bounce off of me and go into some innocent person in the crowd, so you wouldn't want to shoot some innocent person, would you?
Yeah.
And he said, I guess not, and then gave him the gun.
Yeah, that is a true story. Yeah. Which, quick fucking thinking.
Yeah, that guy...
If a kid pulled a gun on me...
Yeah, I'd shit my pants if I'm being real.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so no, Reeves was a good guy. Tony and Eddie, feel free to talk shit. Feel free. We're into that. Now, I said Eddie was aware and supportive of this relationship, but what he wasn't okay with was when Reeves decided to end the relationship with Tony Mannix, and he actually got engaged to a socialite named Lenore Lemon.
Lemon's always souring things up.
I could truly, like, you know, if we were a bit more of a true crime, less history, we could do an entire fucking episode on this particular event. There is so much to it, but I'm going to kind of dilute it for the sake of, you know, we're not talking about George Reeves. We are talking about Mannix. So
I think it's cool if you want to do an overarching story and everything like that for this whole event for Eddie. But if you want to do like a niche crime that happened in history, we've done the Wineville. True crime is part of history too. There's historical crimes that have happened. Well, you know, the guy up in Canada that had all the pigs ate everybody. It's a crazy story.
Yeah. Yeah. You're talking
I can't remember his name. Canadians chime in if you know it.
Oh my God.
He's famous up there.
Yeah, there's going to be people yelling at their fucking...
Yeah, because I know as soon as I hear the name, I'm going to know it, but I'm not even going to look it up.
I can picture it.
Oh, is it like Pickerton? No.
Nope. The Happy Piggy Society. That's a whole different thing, but yeah. What the fuck was his name?
We just literally did like 3 sidebars in a row.
Yep. So I'm going to get back to the story, okay?
Yeah.
Lenore Lemon. Reeves broke off the relationship with Tony and got engaged to Lenore Lemon.
Yep.
Tony was crushed by this breakup, and she did not take it all that well. She would repeatedly call Reeves. She would park her car outside of his house, watch him, things of that kind of nature.
She was stalking.
Yeah, she was stalking. She got a bit obsessive. A few odd coincidences occurred after this breakup, which included Reeves getting into multiple car crashes. Back to Bernice, Eddie's ex-wife. Yep, few car crashes, and his beloved dog was stolen.
Are we thinking that Eddie did these things? Or are these things that Tony did?
No, I think Eddie was very much involved with this. I think it was very much of somebody wronged my woman, so now I will get vengeance.
I was wondering if Eddie was just casually going, yeah, well, if Reeves is fucking around on you, cut his fucking brakes. And Tony goes and does that, or does Eddie go, don't worry about it, baby, I'm gonna go take care of this for you. I'll make sure he understands that you're the only girl around, because he was like some cuck that was into his girl getting banged by Superman.
You know, honestly, I think both are likely, but I do find the coincidence of Mannix's ex-wife getting into a car crash and then Reeves being in multiple car crashes, I do find that to be a little sus. It could be that he gave Tony the idea, or it could be that he was just like, you know what, I've done it before, I'll do it again.
Or it could be that the automobile industry sucked in the 1950s.
It could be, but multiple car crashes right after he tried to end this little love tryst with her. I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say.
Finally, on June 16th of 1959, George Reeves was shot in the head in his home. Officially, this was ruled as a suicide, but there has always been speculation about the true circumstances behind his death.
Was he home alone?
No. He was home. From what I remember, he was upstairs in his bedroom, buck naked, shot in the head. The gun was kind of positioned in an odd way, and downstairs was Lenore Lemon and other house guests.
And they called it in.
Mm-hmm. Though there's some kind of shady stuff behind that. Mysterious circumstances surrounding his death that have led to very plausible conclusions that it might not have been suicide.
I'm going to go it's not, because you don't get naked and then commit suicide, I don't think. You get naked and go to bed. You get naked and get freaky. You get naked and take a shower. You don't get naked and commit suicide because you know somebody's going to find you.
That is like my biggest fear, is to die naked.
That's like my biggest goal, is to die naked. Hopefully with an axe in my hand. In the apocalypse.
Oh my God.
Bearded. I might finally grow my hair long enough to have like some Viking braids or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just dirty, naked, jumping at someone with an axe. And I go down. I'd love it.
Godspeed. I'm dying in a moo-moo. I'm dying in pure comfort.
No. I'm going berserker. I'm going Viking.
All right. Now, we're going to leave Eddie's personal life, and we're going to be getting into cover-ups involving actors and actresses. Eddie would read all incoming and outgoing mail from MGM so he could stop any scandal and help narrate any story before it went too far.
Yeah. So he'd find out if somebody's trying to blackmail, somebody was trying to say, hey, I know this about you. He could intercept, maybe go pay him a visit and be like, you might want to rethink what you're doing here, bud.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I like that. I kind of like some bad guy stuff, you know? That's kind of fun.
Now, we are going to be going back in time a bit to the 1930s.
Okay.
A closeted actor named Nils Astor was a star who refused to follow Mannix and Strickling's plan. Now, Astor was gay, and he was forced into a lavender marriage.
I figured he was gay when you said he was closeted.
Well, yes, but I don't know. Maybe that's an American term. I don't know, man. It helps to be clear.
He was a closeted whittler.
Could be. Maybe he loved to whittle, but he was also gay while he whittled.
Okay.
So he was forced into a lavender marriage with vaudeville actress Vivian Duncan. After a while, he didn't want to play this part anymore. So in 1933, an article was greenlit that threw into question why he didn't live with his wife and child. In the article, it was heavily implied that the reason was not extramarital affairs with other women. After this was approved and read and talked about, he was fired from the studio.
I could just imagine this conversation. He's having a talk with somebody, and they're like, why wouldn't you live with your wife? And he's like, I don't know, because I don't. And they're like, are you having an affair? He's like, not with other women.
Well, no, it wasn't like an interview. It was more like an expose where, you know, they're like, he is not living with his wife and child. And reputable sources tell us it isn't because of other women. Wink, wink.
Oh, it was like that.
Mm-hmm. And we know Strickling had a pretty heavy hand in what was and was not publicized. Pretty coincidental that when this man says that he doesn't want to play this little lavender marriage anymore, all of a sudden, this comes out and then he gets fired.
Kick rocks.
Mm-hmm. Also being controlled by the studios was forced abortions. This was used for stars like Jean Harlow, Judy Garland, Lana Turner, and others if they got pregnant out of wedlock. Dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard, but they would cover this up by having the stars using fake names and talking about false ailments.
Oh, she came down with food poisoning for a couple days. Meanwhile, she's getting the old, what they used back in the, did they do the old coat hanger trick back in the day? Like, how did they do it back in the day? What's a 30s abortion like?
God, I don't know. I just have to imagine it was so fucking painful and traumatic for those women.
Stick a blender up there or what?
I don't know. One musical actress named Jeanette MacDonald was forced to air the story that she was out with an ear infection. So that's kind of the stuff that they would do. If they weren't using a fake name, then they would come up with a fake ailment. And a lot of times they would just say, oh, you know, Jane Smith is coming in for an abortion. and in walks fucking Judy Garland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so these poor women, no control over their bodies, then or now, you know, just fucking heartbreaking. Now, an actress named Loretta Young became pregnant in 1935 after non-consensual sex with famous actor Clark Gable. This happened during the shooting of a movie called The Call of the Wild. And let me be clear, we all know what non-consensual sex. We know what he did to her.
Yeah, that's rape.
Yes. I don't know why I put it in my notes is that I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He raped her.
Yeah, that's what it is. Call it what it is.
Exactly.
It's a horrible thing.
Yes. And she became pregnant from this. Now, because Loretta was a devout Catholic, she absolutely refused an abortion. So Strickland sent her into hiding. At first, it was claimed that she was on vacation, and then after her vacation, she fell ill. After she missed her sister's wedding, speculation ran so wild that the studio had to get involved with this, and they actually arranged for an interview with Young, in which blankets and pillows were placed strategically on her bed to hide her 9-month pregnant belly. They did like an interview with her laid up in bed because they said she was sick.
She's been sick for 9 months.
Well, and she was on vacation for some months and then she got sick. Yeah, so they just tried to hide her belly. And after she gave birth, her daughter originally stayed with her for just a few months and was then sent to an orphanage. Not the end of this story, though.
She refused to abort, but then sent her to an orphanage?
Mm-hmm. That's not the end of this, though. A year later, Young claimed that she was going to adopt 2 children.
She adopts her own children back.
Mm-hmm.
Or her own kid back, and
yeah. Well, she was going to adopt 2, but a fabricated mother came and claimed one of the children, so she ended up with 1 daughter.
Her actual biological daughter.
Yes.
Wow, what a fucking twisted web they weave of deception.
Yeah.
Just for a mother to have her kid.
Yeah. Her own daughter would not know this truth until 1966, and the rest of the world wouldn't find out until her posthumously published biography came out in 2000.
Woof.
They did so fucking much to cover up this.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah. Also, in 1935, a famous actress named Thelma Todd died under mysterious circumstances. She was found dead in her car in her own garage, and Mannix was one of the people who worked to suppress and kind of dictate the story around it. Thelma Todd's story is another one that has long been speculated to be murder. She was found dead in her car from officially carbon monoxide poisoning. The car was running in a closed garage, but she had been beaten up. Like, her nose was broken. I believe she had some broken ribs. She was completely disheveled. So it's very much the same thing of George Reeves as, you know, what truly happened here with this death.
That seems a little more suspicious than the Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not suicide because she got the shit kicked out of her first.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Beat the fuck out of her. Throw her in the car in the garage, turn it on, walk away. It was carbon monoxide.
Yeah, and I believe her death was ruled as accidental because the story was that she got into the car to warm up and sleep in her car. But she had also been known for publicizing the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning. So a bit odd to me and to everybody else that this woman who made like public safety announcements about the dangers of carbon monoxide would then get into a closed garage and turn on a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But it was ruled accidental.
Yeah, I just imagine these conversations happening. After this is all done, Mannix and Strickland get together. And Strickling's like, the fuck, man? How am I going to spin this?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What else she's got a broken fucking nose.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to say? And Mannix is like, she just say something like,
she slumped.
She was walking home. She fell down a bunch of stairs, broke her fucking face, a little disoriented. So she got home and decided to just stay in the car to warm up. And then, she just kind of died there. And Strickling's like, no one, you know what? No, that'll work. That'll work.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, they'll believe it. They're idiots.
It's fine, Eddie. Just go.
Fucking so stupid.
Yeah, fucking dumb. Okay. Now another horrid tale involves the cover-up of Patricia Douglas. She was a dancer who had never dreamed of Hollywood. It was her mother's dream for her. She was described as not a drinker, not a dater, nor a dreamer of film fame. She was invited to what she believed was a dancing part in an upcoming movie, but it was instead a party. A party that was actually a 5-day sales convention to celebrate a big year for MGM. Described as a stag affair, it was a booze-filled men's party.
Oh, she was dancing entertainment for a party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Douglas arrived with 120 other dancers dressed up in skimpy cowgirl outfits, and they quickly realized what this was. They were there to entertain the drunken men, and one man in particular had his nasty little fucking eye on her. MGM salesman David Ross. She did things like running to the ladies' room to try and escape him, but he was criminally persistent on her. She claimed that he and another man held her down and poured liquor down her throat. She escaped these two horrific fucking men and ran to the bathroom to throw up, but it was too late. She was really fucking drunk at that point, and she was not a drinker.
So it probably didn't take very much to get her there.
No. Drunk as she was, she went outside to try and go get some fresh air. Ross followed her out there, put her in his car, and then proceeded to rape her. She was taken to a hospital afterwards, and goddamn if the doctor who examined her wasn't in the pocket of MGM.
So did she bring herself to the hospital after for like a rape kit or something like that?
Not clear to me how she got there. I don't know if it was...
Or did he rape her, beat the shit out of her, and then just dump her to the hospital?
Not clear to me if it was a rape so severe that she had to go to the hospital, or if she of her own volition went there to kind of exactly do the rape kit. Not clear.
So we just know what happened and that she ended up in a hospital, and the doctor just so happened to know the animals that are going to protect him.
Yep. And unfortunately for her, the cops who were at the party to help keep things under control
were fans of MGM.
Yes, they were also in the pocket of MGM.
The Hollywood Mafia back in the day.
Fucking brutal. Nevertheless, though, she did file a criminal complaint against Ross. She also went and told the press her story. Mannix, who had been at this party, got to work, though. He forced witnesses to turn sides, and not only did they turn sides, but they started to slander Douglas, calling her a lying drunk, despite her reputation as never being a drinker. People who had originally given statements in support of her would not do so in court, and eventually her criminal case just kind of fell flat. Being the absolute fucking incredible woman that she was, she tried again. This time, though, she couldn't even find a lawyer to defend her. Completely out of options, she was forced to drop it. And Ross got away with it. Mannix would later joke about this, saying, quote, "Yeah, we had her killed," end quote. Obviously meaning they did not kill her, but they silenced her so sufficiently.
They ruined her reputation. They were so powerful, nobody wanted to help her. They might as well have killed her.
Yeah.
Results the same.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't getting shit done.
He never faced any repercussions for this act on her.
Yeah, it's just fucked.
Yep. I hope he's in hell. If there's a hell, he's fucking burning in it.
And if there's reincarnation, he came back as a slug.
Where he was salted to death. Here's to hoping. Now, the last story that we are going to discuss is that of Lucille Lesueur. She had allegedly starred in a porno stag movie called Velvet Lips, which, hot title.
Yeah, some soft lips.
Yeah, hot. I'm into that one. Lucille's brother brought this to light after she had become quite a star at MGM. Her stage name was Joan Crawford.
Who's Joan Crawford?
Oh.
Jamie just did like an explosion, like my mind should be blown after hearing that name, and I have no idea who she is. Could you explain her a little bit?
Yes, she was just a very famous early Hollywood actress. She starred in movies like Mildred Pierce, Sudden Fear, a Western movie named Johnny Guitar. She was just a very famous actress for her time. So her being involved in a porn would be quite scandalous.
Very much so.
This would have caused repercussions not only for Joan, but for the studio as a whole to have employed an adult film actress. So to stop this scandal, Mannix was tasked with finding every copy of the film and destroying it. Which he did.
How can he know that?
Fuck if I know. I assume maybe going to the...
Do you think he went to the production company and said, how many of these did you make?
Yeah, I do.
And then literally found that many?
Yeah, I do.
And hoped nobody made a copy?
Well, I'll tell you what. I've never seen Velvet Lips. And I did look it up.
You tried to find Velvet Lips?
I tried to see if he actually did it. And I couldn't find it.
If he didn't do it, MGM wiped it from the internet.
Yeah.
Paid Google off and Yahoo and asked Jeeves.
Hey, Jeeves. You seen Velvet Lips before?
Jeeves might be the only one with velvet lips still.
Maybe.
Because everybody forgot about him. The butler of the internet.
God love him. But yeah, I mean, interesting, fun, whatever descriptor word you want to use. Back then, it truly was. If you did get every copy, that was it.
Yeah, if you could find every copy, it was
gone
done.
Forever. Gone forever.
Some motherfuckers got velvet lips somewhere. They get together every year at MGM and watch Velvet Lips and go, remember when we fucking got all these? This is the last copy.
I would not be shocked by that in any way, shape, or form. Truly. Now, though there are many more stories and rumors of Mannix's involvement with cover-ups, they are just that. Stories and rumors. In 1948, the Supreme Court made a ruling that took the monopoly power away from the big studios like Paramount, Warner Brothers, and MGM, and allowed smaller, independent movie studios like Disney to have a chance in the film industry. Mannix wasn't as needed after this, and by the late 50s, his health was really failing. He suffered multiple heart attacks and was eventually confined to a wheelchair. On August 30th, 1963, he had one last heart attack, this one fatal, and he died at 72 years old. And that is the picture wrap on the fixer, Eddie Mannix.
Dirty, greasy bastard.
Disgusting.
Hollywood cover-up master.
Foul little fucking beastie. I always wait until the end to drop the not confirmed stories. But Snopes does say that this is a lie, but it is kind of synonymous with Mannix. So I'm going to throw it in and I'm going to put the disclaimer up that it is officially not true, but here it is anyway. Rapist Clark Gable, is alleged to have been involved in a hit and run that involved a dead woman. She ended up dying from this. Now, to avoid him getting into any legal trouble with this, they had to find a fall guy. They had a man named John Huston take the fall for this, and he was sent to jail. Now, can you think of any actors or actresses with the last name of Houston?
I can just think of Whitney Houston.
Oh, didn't even think of her. Angelica Houston. Morticia?
Okay.
Her dad. Now, again, I want to put the disclaimer out that this has officially been confirmed as not true.
But he was the fall guy?
Yes. And it was Mannix who set that all up.
So the untrue bit is that...
Well, John Huston was involved in an accident, and it did end up killing a woman. The rumor part of this was that it wasn't Houston behind the wheel, it was actually Clark Gable.
Okay.
So that is where there is, the rumor and the kind of legend behind it. But officially that has been kind of debunked and told to be not true. So, we're at the end. This is where I tell all my riffraff stories. So I just at least wanted to include that. Final thoughts, views, and opinions on Eddie?
No, I'm just thinking about George Reeves now. Who was in the house when George Reeves died?
Fiancée Lenore Lemon and 2 other house guests.
But not Tony.
Nope. Tony was not in the house, and I do actually stand corrected. It was fiancée Lenore Lemon and 3 other people, 2 of whom were just neighbors.
So Mannix broke in, told everybody downstairs to shut the fuck up, went upstairs, shot a sleeping George Reeves because we know Superman would whoop that man's ass.
Yeah.
Went downstairs, told everybody to keep their goddamn mouth shut, and walked out. That's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm just sad for Superman.
Yeah, that one is a bummer.
Which makes me sound like an asshole because there's a lot of essays and shit in that one. So
Yeah.
I'm also sad for all that stuff too. That was
a pretty sad one.
Cover-ups. Just the amount of power that comes with money and influence is
Still
fucking crazy. I mean, yeah, still to this day we see it. We still see
people getting away with things, people starting wars rather than facing accountability, people using that money and that influence to never have to face repercussions.
Exactly.
And if they do face any repercussions, it's
a slap on the wrist versus what should actually happen.
Yep. Fucking sickening. It is fucking disgusting.
I'd like to say it's not as blatant as it was back then, but I think the only thing they've done is gotten better at hiding it. But when things come to light, they're just as fucking bad as they were at any other time.
Any other point in history, it is all still the same shit.
All the same bullshit. People in power suck.
Mm-hmm. And on that, on that lovely positive ending note there, you guys can follow us on Instagram or send us an email, both of which are linked in the show description.
And if you guys have made it this far in the show, please consider leaving a rating, a comment, or sharing with a friend. Every share, every interaction, all of it helps us grow, and we appreciate it so much. And until next week, adios.
Goodbye. Oh my gosh. Okay. Completely off topic, but I am desperate to tell you guys this. I was reading this book, Henry and the Six Wives, and a name really popped out to me. So I did a bit of research, and it turns out that my 12th great uncle worked for and personally knew King Henry. But my ancestor knew King Henry, Queen Mary, and Queen Elizabeth. And that might be the coolest thing. And we're all here because we love history. I'm sure everybody knows who King Henry was. All of the wives and the scandal and such. But my ancestor personally knew and worked with him.
Yeah, Jamie just wanted to flex on us all, is what she wanted to do right now.
I am telling everybody that I know this information. I think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm sorry. I know it's not related. I simply had to tell the world.
I might be cutting that out.
Oh, fine. Cut it. Fine.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.